Elder Kethmos had lived for 3,000 cycles, his ancient carapace bearing scars from wars that younger species had forgotten. As the last survivor of the first contact generation, he stood before the assembled war council of the Stellar Coalition, his voice cracking with age and urgency. "You must not attack the Sol system," he pleaded, his four eyes dim with exhaustion. "I have seen what humans can become when threatened. I was there during the Terran Isolation Wars. Please, heed the wisdom of those who came before." General Vaxtor, commander of the Coalition's newest battle fleet, dismissed the Elder with a wave of his armored claw. "Respected Elder, your warnings come from a different era. Our intelligence indicates the humans have barely progressed beyond their home system. They possess primitive chemical rockets and nuclear weapons, toys compared to our quantum arsenal." The younger officers chittered in agreement. Admiral Zelnara, her scales gleaming with confidence, added, "The humans have been silent for 2 centuries. Our scouts report they've built nothing larger than orbital stations. They're clearly a dying civilization." Elder Kethmo's mandibles clicked in distress. "You don't understand. Silence from humans isn't weakness. It's preparation. When they went quiet after the isolation treaty, I warned the council then. But they thought containment had worked." "Enough," General Vaxtor declared. "The humans occupy 17 systems that rightfully belong to the Coalition. Their quarantine was established by cowards. We launched the offensive at dawn." The old elders slumped in defeat as the war council dispersed, their minds set on easy conquest. The attack began precisely as planned. 300 Coalition warships dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, expecting to find a handful of primitive vessels guarding a backward world. Instead, they found hell waiting for them. The first sign something was wrong came when their sensors detected the orbital structures around Earth. What they had mistaken for simple space stations were revealed to be massive weapons platforms, their energy signatures beyond anything in Coalition databases. "Sir," the sensor operator's voice trembled, "I'm reading multiple contacts throughout the system. Hundreds of them. They're bigger than anything we've ever seen." General Vaxtor felt his confidence waver as the tactical display lit up with hostile contacts. Ships emerged from behind asteroids, from the shadows of planets, from what appeared to be empty space itself. The humans hadn't been stagnant. They had been building an armada in secret. "Incoming transmission," the communications officer announced. The view screen filled with the image of a human female, her uniform adorned with symbols that spoke of battles fought in distant stars. Admiral Sarah Chun looked directly at Vaxtor with eyes that had seen too much war. "General Vaxtor of the Stellar Coalition," she said, her voice carrying the weight of inevitable judgment. "I am Admiral Chun of the Terran Defense Force. You have violated the Isolation Treaty and entered sovereign human space with hostile intent. Your pitiful fleet cannot," Vaxtor began. "200 years ago," Admiral Chun interrupted, "your predecessors made a choice. They decided humanity was too dangerous to interact with the galactic community. They created the quarantine zones, thinking they had caged us. Around the Coalition fleet, space began to distort. Massive human dreadnoughts decloaked, their weapons already charging. But these weren't the primitive vessels in their intelligence reports. These were technological marvels that seemed to bend reality itself. What your elders understood," Chen continued, "and what you fail to learn is that isolation doesn't weaken humans. It focuses us." What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations. The human dreadnought didn't engage the Ravager fleet, it annihilated them. Weapons systems that seemed to bend the laws of physics turned 12 warships into expanding clouds of superheated plasma in under 4 minutes. When the battle was over, the absolute vengeance moved alongside the crippled gentle current. Medical teams in powered armor began boarding. Humans whose very presence seemed to radiate barely contained violence, yet who treated the wounded aliens with surprising gentleness. Captain Zeln, Admiral Mackenzie said as her medical teams worked. Your mistake may have saved more lives than you realize. The Ravagers have been operating in this sector for months. We've been looking for an excuse to deal with them. As the humans worked with frightening efficiency to repair his ship, Captain Zeln understood something that would change galactic politics forever. Humanity wasn't quarantined to protect the galaxy from them. They were quarantined to protect them from the galaxy. And sometimes that protection came with a very sharp edge.